Hello. Good to have you here on the video blog again. And I've been doing some reading and stuff and some books that I feel like have been very helpful to me uh, because I have the right foundations. In other words, because I understand the issues of identity, because I understand the issues of being righteous before God or having Jesus' state. I'm not operating out of what we call the do-get paradigm. A lot of books are written out of a perspective, do get. But a lot of times you end up with people who by trial and error, discover great truths. And so there's a book that I recently read, and I feel like this guy's discovered some great truths. And at the same time, when you discover a great truth that works over the long term, well, it's always in the Bible, because the Bible is built on long-term principles. So this is a book that's called The Education of Millionaires. And this is basically the front page. And then in these small letters here it says, what you think, it's not what you think, and it's not too late. The Education of Millionaires, it's not what you think, and it's not too late to begin to learn. And so what I liked about this book is that in the world of education right now, there's a shift that's taking place. And it's basically that academics is being recognized that a lot of times academics is not enough. A lot of young people are going to college and university, and they're coming out with student debts in multiple thousands, or 70, 80,000, or $100,000, depending on what careers they've chosen, and they're still having trouble finding work. And so one of the things that's happening in the world of education today is that there's a slow but sure shift that is away from academics, in the sense that if it doesn't make any difference how intellectual or how academic you are, if it doesn't produce and function in the real world, you probably need to make an adjustment. It's kind of like as I begin to work with different churches, they might be all excited about prophets, or they might be all excited about apostles, and so they'll jump in and they're all excited about it, and I'll always say something like this: look, if being a prophet doesn't make the local church grow and be blessed, we misunderstood what it was. If being an apostle doesn't make the local church grow, we misunderstood what it was. And that's kind of the way it is in the world of education today, is that if it doesn't get to where that it works and is functional and it produces, then why did they go to all this academic exercise? And so some of that is kind of happening. And so in this particular book, there were several things that basically the author, and the author's name is Daniel, let me get it right quick because it's really good guy. His name is Michael Elsberg. And one of the things that he brings out in this is that there's skills that you can learn, and these skills basically help you advance as you go along. And he was a young man who got a college degree, was going to be a journalist, write a great American novel, but at the end of the season he was broke and didn't have a job. So one of the things that the first skill is how to make your work meaningful, and your work and your meaningful work success skill. In other words, how to get your work to where it is meaningful to you and at the same time is productive for you. I thought that was an excellent chapter. The second one was how to find great mentors and teachers and to connect with them. And the thing is, even though he was a degreed person, he found people and he was able to connect to them that really helped him move from level into level. And that was a great chapter. Another one is what every successful person needs to know about marketing. And the sense is that the way the world is today, we have great opportunities to where that through the internet and other things that are available to us, through computers, through email and stuff like this, to where that we can have projections, Twitter, that we couldn't have before. And so one of the things is that it's like you may want a great church, for example, applying this to where I am, but the thing is if you don't have evangelism, so what? And so the thing is, if you can't make your message known, if you can't get it out there, well then what happens is that there's no impact. And what we want to do today is to produce impact. Another success skill is that what every person needs to know about sales. And I thought this was extremely well, because it's kind of like the Apostle Paul writes to Timothy, and you see two perspectives. It's like Timothy's writing, or Paul's writing to Timothy, and he's saying, hey Timothy, you need to do the work of the evangelist. It's kind of like Timothy saying, well, hey, I'm a pastor, I'm not really worried about evangelism. And it's kind of like Paul says, we need to do the work of evangelist anyway. And the thing is, everything that we do that is important to us in life involves a skill set around sales, whether we recognize it or not. You may not like the word sales, but you do have to communicate and convince to get anything done. Let me say that again. You do have to communicate and convince to get anything done. The other chapter is about how to invest for success, and this was very good, because the thing is, there's things that we can get involved with our money, to where that our money works for us instead of us having to do so much work to produce money. And then the idea of building a brand. Whenever we hear your name, we think of certain things. One of the things here is that we're building the brand of CCI, Christian Community International. And so whenever you hear that, there's certain things that bring with it. And one would be like identity, powerful people, powerful worship, strong move of the Holy Spirit. This is the culture of CCI, servant spirit, and so great participation. So these are all things that we're building, and that as you hear our name, CCI, you begin to think about this stuff. And so some great thoughts on how to build your brand. Seventh area is the entrepreneurial mindset versus the employee mindset. Probably many of you have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That to me is probably one of the best books on helping get away from to where that we are developed in a world that was built for helping people get jobs, which there's nothing wrong with that, but what is better, for you to work to make somebody else rich, or to work to make yourself rich? So I enjoyed this book a whole lot, and I've had a couple of my staff read this book, and it's been a great blessing to them too. And you can get this book on Amazon.com, and this is where I get a lot of my books. The Education of Millionaires. It's not what you think, and it's not too late. And I would recommend you to get it. And if you'll just go to Amazon, click, you can go through my video blog. And if you go through my video blog to get it, well, it'll send a commission back to our video blog. I think this will be a great book for you, and I hope you get to read it and enjoy it as much as I did. It really was thought-provoking to me about creative ways to grab ideas. One of the things I really liked about the book was one young man read that a large percentage of the new billionaires were under 30. And so he just arranged a retreat in Hawaii for these guys to all come together. And they all had the factor, or the common factor, that they were all billionaires and under 30. And so they ended up coming together and basically forming a foundation. And they're young, they're dynamic, they're active, and so the result has been basically what? That now that there's this foundation, they've been invited to the White House twice, they're having major impact in the world through philanthropy, or just giving money away for wonderful causes. So I think you'll enjoy the book. I certainly did. Bless you. Thanks for taking the time with me.